What it do, people? Is the MMA guy. Today I just wanted to do a quick video on a matchup that's been announced recently in Azamat Murzakanov, who's a number 6 ranked light heavyweight, versus Paulo Costa, who's the 13th ranked middleweight. Now, obviously Costa's like a big star, so he got this matchup off of a Kopylov win, who isn't ranked anymore, and has lost his last fight. Kopylov was looked at as like a guy that was going to be an absolute monster in the middleweight division. There was a time where Lucas Tracy was talking about this guy is gonna beat this guy, could beat Israel Adesanya, stuff like that. The reality is that he struggled so much with Cesar Almeida, who just got wrestled fucked by a guy in his UFC debut of the Dana White Contender Series. Then he beat Chris Curtis in a close fight where he kept getting popped with the boxing. Then Costa whooped him, and now Gregory Rodriguez also whooped him. So it's like, even his fight that he won like close fights and such, and then he lost like to Costa and to Gregory Rodriguez, who is cool and he's powerful and everything, but realistically, he's not all that. He's never been ranked above like number 13. I don't know if he ever was above number 15. I don't think so. And lost to Jared Cannonier, who's been unable to win, besides that fight. So, well, okay. I just want to break it down stylistically. So, I feel like it's a weird matchup, but at the same time, Paulo Costa was a plodster by middleweight standard. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's getting outstruck every fight, like Robert Whittaker. Sean Strickland's 50-45ing him. Whittaker, besides the spinning back kick, he controlled the whole fight. Talking about a guy got KO'd by a Izzy, who was going decision with pretty much everyone at the time. You're talking about a guy who literally lost to Vettori a couple fights ago. And since then, he's lost to Whittaker, Strickland. He's also lost to... he's 2-4, and his 2 wins are Kopylov, who's currently unranked, lost his fight after that for the number 15 spot in the division. So it's not like he beat a guy whose stock is rising, and his stock was kind of like diminished after his fight with Chris Curtis and Cesar Almeida. And he's also beaten Luke Rockhold coming out of retirement. Fight where he gassed out, looked weird. That was a horrible fight. Horrible performance by Luke Rockhold. Luke was horrible at that point in time already. So, this is the level that you're talking about now. Meanwhile, you have Azamat Murzakanov, who's granted in a plodster division, but he's a very dynamic striker. He's been KOing pretty much everyone. He went to decision once with Dustin Jacoby, and he did knock him down. So he's got at least a knockdown or a KO in every single UFC appearance. He's 16-0, undefeated, just beat the brakes off Rakic, and I know Rakic is on a big losing streak. But the thing is that the guy went at a somewhat competitive fight with Magomed and Kalaev, didn't get absolutely ran through. Besides that, who did he beat? He had great success against Yuri in the first round, then got clipped and everything. But it's not like Rakic is like Rakic is still pretty solid. I wouldn't be surprised if Rakic beat the brakes off, beat Paulo Costa to a decision if they fought. I don't think anyone's finishing anyone in that fight. I would say that I would probably think that Rakic could beat Paulo Costa. Not clear. Unclear. Would have been a good matchup to see. But Azamat is... And like, does the UFC want to catch a body? And the lighter man skill in me with the way that Kopylov fights, also kind of similar to Azamat. I'm like, there might be something there. There might be something for Costa. But I'm looking... I can't wait for the odds to come out for this fight. Because if Azamat isn't like a minus 300 favorite, dude, I'm going to be touching that money line for sure. And, you know, my prediction for the fight, to be honest, I think that since he's a middleweight and he fought a little bit like a berserker against Kopylov, I can see Costa getting some kind of early success. My thing is, I don't think Costa's a big finisher. Like, people have this idea of Costa that he's like a... Because he's jacked and he's got a KO against a washed version of not on steroid Johnny Hendricks and stuff like that. And had a good fight, dropped Romero. But this idea that Costa's like a devastating knockout artist, dude, when's his last knockout? Okay? He's going decision, even when he hits someone clean with big shots like Kopylov. Like he did Kopylov, and Kopylov is there to be it. He's not rolling with shots. Kopylov has the head movement of a fucking stop sign. Okay? And with all due respect to Kopylov. But, you know, I think he's going to have some kind of early success. I think he's going to get tagged with shots. Azamat bouncing in and out. Azamat is a fast light heavyweight. You know, he's small. He's 5'10", 71-inch reach. Costa has a 72-inch reach. It's probably going to be the first time that Azamat is barely at a reach disadvantage here in that fight. So that's going to be good for him. I think his speed advantage isn't going to be as big as when he's fighting light heavyweights. But it's definitely still going to be there. He's going to have at least a slight speed advantage. Costa is a plodster. Costa was losing to Marvin Vettori. I don't care if you think Costa has gotten better since then. It's about fast twitch, muscle fiber, and everything. If Costa was fast, okay, at the time while he was still in his physical prime, and he still is, but at that time, he would have already been faster. Like, Costa hasn't gotten faster twitch muscles, like muscle fiber since then, okay? Like, his brain reaction, everything. It's... If you're going toe-to-toe and losing to Marvin Vettori when you miss weight and you fight at 205 and Marvin was cutting weight, and so you have an advantage on the size, you have an advantage on the fact that you didn't cut, and Marvin Vettori is still whooping you at 205, and now you're at 205 and you're fighting Azamat Murzakanov, who's starching people left and right in brutal fashion. I think in the second round, I think after a tricky first round, Azamat at like 3-4 minutes gonna start getting a little bit of success, hit a big shot, and I think in that second round, he's gonna put Paulo Costa on skate and leave him frozen like Elsa. I think that's what's gonna happen, you know. Let me know what you guys think, though. I don't know how anyone would ever pick Costa in this matchup, but let me know. So, thank you for watching the video, guys. I hope you liked it. Make sure you drop a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, man. We're almost at 70. Would be nice to hit 100 soon. That's what we're aiming for. So, till next time.